Today we're going to talk about creating a new project and how you actually create a command model on the command canvas using items from the command palette. So let's start by clicking on the Design a New Project up here in the upper right hand corner. We'll give our project a name. I'm just going to call it My Project _1 to distinguish it from all the other projects I'll be creating today. And click the Next button. And we come up with a blank canvas. The first thing you want to do is kind of decide on your wake word. So for me, I'm going to choose my Hey Infineon is going to be my wake word. I'll drag a wake word off the command palette and onto the canvas. And then I'm going to choose an interjection. Mine is going to be Hey, so it's going to be Hey Infineon. So Hey, and then we'll click on the nickname. Is not absolutely necessary. I'm not going to fill that in, but I can fill that in if you want. Let's call it IFX. Is the nickname, wake word. Well, it has to be like this. Wake word. IFX wake word. And then we'll make our wake word, and it's going to be Infineon. Actually, I'm going to choose Infineon as a wake word. So I can, if the wake word is already created, then I can choose the wake word. Otherwise, I can type my own custom wake word. So let's say I wanted to create a custom wake word. My name is Ezra, so let's say I wanted to say, Hey Ezra, as my wake word. Then I could have the same interjection, and instead of using Infineon as a wake word, I could just simply type my name in here, Ezra, and hit return, and it will come up. And now my wake word is Hey Ezra. So, but I'm going to use the custom already created wake word of Infineon instead. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to use Infineon. I'll just click on that. And now I'm using Hey Infineon as my wake word. You can see it here. We can zoom in. You can see Hey Infineon, my wake word. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some things to the command canvas. And we want to add things from the command palette. So the first thing I usually do is I add text to identify my commands. So I'll put some text in here. In this case, I'm going to drag in a text box. And what I'm going to create today is going to be turning on and off a light. So something fairly simple, actually. So we'll give it a nickname. It's not absolutely necessary, but let's call this light on is the nickname, and it's going to be required text. This will be required text, and the text will be, let's say, some commands to turn on a light. So turn on the light, light on, other commands I can think of. So turn on the light is one, turn on light, another possibility, light on is another possibility. I'm just thinking of phrases in the English language that I can use to actuate the turning on of a light. Light on, how about just a funny one like, it's dark in here. There you go. So those are all command phrases that I've added to the command canvas, which will have the effect of turning on the light. And the way that I give them the effect is by adding the intent. The intent of the command phrase is the actual action that happens on the device, and the intent will be what is returned by the model when the command is identified, when the command is recognized by the model. It will return the intent. So let's zoom out a little bit here so we can see what we're working with. So there's our first turn on the light. These are all our command phrases for turn on the light, and we can add variables if we want, but I don't think any variables are necessary in this case because we're just going to turn on the light. We're not going to turn on the light in a specific location. We're not going to say turn on the light in the kitchen, turn on the light in the bedroom, something like that. We can do that in a later video, but for this one, we're just doing something simple. So let's add the intent then. The intent is going to be light on. It's going to be very simple intent. We'll enter the intent name. We're going to call it light on. There we go. There's our intent. So now we can't generate anything, and we have an error here saying connection path is required, and that's true. That's because we have not identified how these things are connected, and the way that we do that is simply by dragging this little gray box here to the drag a little connector to the desired command, and then we want to also drag a connector from the command to the intent. And there we have our most basic command model that hasn't been created. The model itself hasn't been created yet because we haven't hit the generate button. But what we'll do at the end is we'll hit the generate button, and then it'll generate the model, the actual model that we can download from the web to put into our device. But this isn't enough. We don't want to just be able to turn the light on. We also want to be able to turn the light off. So let's add another text box for that set of commands, and we'll call this light off is our nickname, and then the text is going to be required in this case because it's not a variable. It's not just a simple modifier like in or at or something like that. This is a required piece of text. One of these phrases must be spoken in order for the command to take effect. So let's do the similar thing we did for light on. We'll say turn off the light, and we'll say turn off light. I'm just doing the exact kind of the negation of what we did before. We'll say light off, and then it's good night would be a good phrase. So it's a good night. That will turn off the light. And then we want to have an intent for that as well. We're going to have to connect it up as well to the wake word. We don't have to do that right yet. Let's add the intent. The intent is going to be that the light turns off. So we just go enter the name for the intent, and it's going to be light off. There's our simple light off intent, and then we'll connect them all up again. So just as we did with the light on command structure, we'll do the same with the light off command structure. And now we have our basic model. This is going to allow us, using our voice commands, to wake the device with the wake word hey Infineon, and then once the wake word is recognized, to pass the audio to the command model to be recognized. And in this case, you'll be able to say things like turn on the light, turn on light, light on, it's dark in here, and the light turns on. And then if you go on the converse, you'll be able to say things like turn off the light, turn off light, light off, and good night, and then the light will turn off. So that kind of gives you a basic kind of idea of how to create the most basic command model in Voice Assistant. Now, once we've created our command model, you'll notice that if we try to click on the test interface, which is this little microphone here in the upper right-hand corner, we can't click on anything. We're not able to click on it. That's because we haven't generated the model yet. We need to do that. And in order to do that, we'll click on the Generate button. So I'm just going to click on the Generate button, and it'll give us an idea of how long it'll take for the generation to take effect. And we will come back when the generation has completed. So click on the Generate button. It asks me, do I want to generate my model? Am I sure? Because this is a long-running operation. It may take half an hour, it may take an hour, depending on the complexity of the model that you're generating. So we'll say yes, generate, and you'll see a little spinny thing here in the upper right-hand corner, and pretty soon we should get a model generation with some information about how long it's going to take to generate the model. And we will come back once our model is actually generated. Oh, here it is. Generate your model, and it says it's going to take 25 minutes, and it's 0 to 100%, and it's starting. I can stop the model generation if I want to halfway through, or at any point in time you can stop the model generation. Let's say I realized, oh, I forgot, I need to add X, Y, and Z to the command canvas in order for the model to be complete. Then you can stop model generation because it is a long-running process, and then you can start create a new or change your model and then regenerate your model. So in this case, we're just click on the generate, and we'll come back in 25 minutes when the model is generated. Thank you.